Hey Percussion! Today we're going to learn the parts of the concert snare drum. So as you can see here, I have my snare drum set up. A concert snare drum is usually on a stand and we play it with the concert band. A marching snare drum is the one that is on the carrier and we play it and we hold it and it's used for marching band. So every snare drum is going to have two drum heads, one on the top and one on the bottom. The one on the top is called the batter head. The one on the bottom is called the snare or the resonant head. On the top here we have these two metal hoops. There's one here and there's one on the bottom. That is called the rim. So we have our top rim and our bottom rim. In between the rims, this orange stuff right here, that is the shell. The shell is usually made out of wood or it could be made out of metal, just depends on the snare drum. What holds the rims together on the outside of the shell, these little rods right here, these are called tension rods. And if you look, the tension rods go all the way around the snare drum, holding those two rims together. And on the top of the tension rods, you can see these little screws. Those are called lugs. So we have the lugs that are connected to the rim, holding the tension rods in place. Now, on the bottom of the snare drum, that is where our snares live. So right here, you see these things that go across? Those are the snares. That's what makes the unique sound of a snare drum. The snares lie within the snare bed, which is right here. And you can see that they're connected to this mechanism on the outside. So let's talk about that for a second. This is called the snare strainer. Now there's two different ways that we can use this. We use it to turn the snare drum on and to have it off. When it's off, the snare drum kind of sounds like a low thumping, like a tom kind of. When we turn the snare strainer on, it gives us that sound that makes it sound more like a snare drum. Now the snares, they're connected to the snare strainer. Right here, we have some screws that adjust the tension of the snares. So it makes it tighter or looser. And you can see the snares are attached to the strainer right here and all the way to the other side. And they're attached right there on the other side as well. Awesome. So those are the main parts of our concert snare drum. One thing that you need to know is that some snare strainers are different on different snares. So let's take a look at this one. This one looks a little bit different. This is the strainer. It's still connected to the snares, as you can see right here. But to turn this one on, we have to turn the lever like this. Now it's all the way on. When we want to turn it off, it releases the tension and we pull it back down like that. So a couple different ways to turn the snare drums on and off. It just kind of depends on what school instruments that you have there. Whether you have the levers like this or the ones that turn up and down. And remember, let's not touch these screws right here on the snare strainer. That is only for your director to adjust the tension on. And those are all the parts of our concert snare drum.